Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Rockwood RM1210. This is what's called a small post mount door pull. And a pull like this is used generally in cabinet applications, but this being a 30-inch overall length unit, even though the part number says 30-inch center to center, it can be either. You just have to specify. Is awfully long at 30-inch. You generally will see these, certainly much shorter. Got this, it's a simple item. You've got this bar and a couple of small posts, okay? What we have to tell the factory is what the overall length is, and if we don't define the center to center, it's going to be 1 7/8 smaller than the overall length. Or if you say 30-inch center to center, the overall length is going to be 31 7/8 generally, unless we specify. That's just where they like to put it. But this video will serve as visual evidence of the item. This is being shown in the 630 finish. It weighs 2.8 pounds, so it's certainly not light at all. Where would you use such a long pull handle? Well, probably on a really large cabinet. You might have, really tall ceilings. You're going to put cabinets in there for an 8-foot ceiling? No. If you have 12-foot ceilings, so those cabinets are going to be bigger, your pull handles are going to be bigger, everything in proportion. I suppose you could use this as a push bar as well, given this size, but it doesn't really have the projection really necessary for that sort of application. Let's take some dimensional properties of the item. They say that the pull is 5/8, and I think the posts are 1/2 inch. Put the caliper on here. 0.624 is the diameter of the pull bar, which is basically 5/8. The posts themselves are 0.468. 0.468, so I would say that would be 15/32 of an inch. Is what I would say what that would be. Because they're intended for cabinet doors, you're going to get 832 by about 1 inch truss head machine screws for typical 3/4 inch drawer or cabinet fronts. And by all means, specify the door thickness so that they send the right machine screws. There's no reason to get the wrong ones and have to go out and get some, longer or shorter screws for that matter. Unless you specify, they're going to be 1 inch long screws. They do have a mounting type selection here where you can do that type 1, which is just a through bolt. You can also do a type 5S, which would be a back-to-back. It's a machine screw with a very small cone head bolt and a small set screw that will go up in the post, and you can mount them back-to-back. That's not common that we do that, but I have one client who in the last 6 months or so has done a rash of them. Pulls like this with those small back-to-back mounting posts. You can also do a type 6S, which is a surface concealed, where you would have a screw that would thread into the face of the door and would leave the head exposed. There would be a hole drilled here and a counter bore or a cross bore here for the set screw drilled and tapped. That will fit over the exposed head and you'll tighten that set screw. Surface concealed, you won't have a bolt going through your door in that instance. So let's switch to the screen view where we can take a look at the supporting documentation. Okay, so this is the item that we're looking at here, RM1210. We'll give a description of what it is. Straight and offset post mount pulls are available in most architectural finishes, including stainless steel. Custom sizes are available. Grip zone design is practical and attractive. So, pull diameter is 5/8. That's center to center. You're going to define up here what you want the overall length to be. You can tell us, what if you want 30-inch center to center, we'll need to know the overall length, or we're just going to go with 1 7/8, which is normal. We do have some odd characters in here which will get cleaned up, but it's meant to say the relationship between the center to center and the overall is 1 7/8. OAL equals CTC plus 1.875, etc. Okay. For typical 3/4 inch thicknesses, specify if other. 832 by 1 inch screws. Now, product brochure, mounting drawings, cut sheet, and sample technical drawing. Let's go over all of these. Product brochure will show us the RM1210 series pulls. So on this single page, we're going to be able to look at the RM1210, which means it's straight and 5/8 diameter, okay, versus the RM1200, which will be a 1/2 inch diameter. You have a square end, or you can do a round end, and you can see how that part number changes. They list center to center sizes here. That's a piece of stainless rod. That can be done in any length, like 30 inch, as we have here. Then you have the grip zone, which is a kind of like a two-tone sort of finish, but a textured finish inside of here, kind of shown here. Okay, same concept. Just change that 2 in the part number to a 3, and the same all around. Now, why these offset pulls? Well, an offset pull is really nice. Now, not only on a pull handle like this, but an offset pull would be really important. Next time you're in the mall, walk around and look at the doors. Those are supposed to be equal. You've got a cylinder right here. Okay? Sometimes you'll see a pull handle like right there. Okay? That's not too good. Now let's imagine if we did that same thing with an offset pull. You've got a mounting post, you've got a mounting post. It's going to come off this way, and now your pull is off out of the way of the cylinder. So that's why you'll have an offset pull handle, to move it away from conflict with hardware. You need to think that through. You don't want to have your pull handle literally run in the front of a key cylinder. Now, not that it's going to happen on pulls like this, because these are small pulls. These are 5/8 or 1/2 inch diameter. But you're going to see applications like this. You may have a college dorm room where they have pulls like this because they're robust and heavy duty in nature. But you may have a cam lock on the door. Okay, you might have a need to use an offset pull to move it out of the way, or maybe you don't. The point is they offer it in either straight pulls or offset pulls, and sometimes people will tell us that when they buy one, they should get 2 pulls. When they look at this, well, no, what you're seeing here is an elevation perspective and then a right side view. Elevation perspective, a right side view, and a plan view as well. Okay, so there's only one pull. They're just showing you different perspectives on that. We have been recording voice all this time. Okay, so let's look at the mounting drawings. This will talk about the Type 1, Type 6, and Type 5S. Through bolt, there is no finish washer on these. It's just a truss head screw. The 5S is that back-to-back we mentioned earlier. Definitely indicate your door thickness. You should always indicate your door thickness. If you don't, we're assuming it's 3/4 thick. Type 6 concealed, we don't care what your door thickness is. But be mindful, this is clearly shown with a machine screw. So if you need to do this for a wood door, we're going to have to talk about that. What you're going to do there, it's going to take a different arrangement. And frankly, they don't list it available for a wood or a knife thread insert on this, so we might have to investigate that further to see if it's available in a surface concealed for wood. Printable cut sheet, nothing really new there, but it does tell us that we're dealing with different base materials and different finishes. US 32D is satin stainless steel, solid stainless with a brushed finish. That is actually the most durable of all finishes possible. Natural base material that they've done nothing other than put a brush finish onto. You can do that same concept with an MS micro shield that works to retard the growth of bacteria, fungus, mildew, germs on the surface of the hardware. In this day and age, that's a very important thing. You can do stainless in a polished finish. Then they can do oil rub bronze, solid bronze with an oil rub finish. They can do satin brass and polished brass over solid brass, but this list is only partial. Being Rockwood, they can entertain all kinds of finishes. You want these powder-coated black? That's going to happen. You want them antique nickel? That's going to happen. No problem at all. Any size made to order. You know, if you get over 42 inch or so, or maybe 4 foot, they're going to recommend you have a mid-post, because that bar is going to flex. So be mindful of that. They're going to recommend that you have a post in the middle here. Next document up is going to be sample technical drawing, and this literally is from a prior order. This came to us from the from the factory who they are sending this to us for our approval, for us to sign off. This was someone's order. September of 2019. This was someone's order, is the bottom line. Okay? And shows you that this was a non-standard variation of the OAL and CTC relationship. 2-inch from either end. Let's wrap up this video on camera, but before we do, let's talk about what Rockwood is super good at. They're super good at everything, in no particular order. Customer service, exceptional. Technical support, phenomenal. Prompt, predictable, reliable shipping times, like an atomic clock. Fit and finish, among the best in the industry. Absolutely industry leader when it comes to that material. Pricing, incredibly attractive. Comprehensive in everything that they manufacture. This link to the manufacturer's page was just loaded. Will allow you to see not only all of the Rockwood products that we sell, a video of me blabbing on of why Rockwood deserves your business, a link to their website, a link to their full-line product catalog. Interesting fact about Rockwood is that they're about 26 miles away from, I think, the third most visited home in the United States, and that would be Falling Water. We're about 26 miles away from here. I'm going to visit the plant at some point in the future, and will not go until I can go in and view Falling Water. The most, I think, the most important private residence, except the White House and possibly Graceland. It's the White House, Graceland, and Falling Water are the most visited. Graceland being Elvis Presley's home, most visited homes in the United States. Anyway, fun fact about Rockwood. Not germane at all. So, on this page also will be their architectural door pull catalog, and that's important because this RM1210, it's in this catalog, which is 100 plus pages in length, and will show you everything related to custom pulls. So if you are looking for custom pulls, either for your commercial or your residential project, and you're not sure what you want, I don't really think you need to go beyond this catalog. You can. There are other people who make this stuff. There are some boutique people as well. But dollar for dollar, with the variety and quality that you get from Rockwood, I just don't see a need to look at anyone else. Okay, let's wrap up this video on camera. In conclusion, a very high quality item. Obviously, this is quite very simple in its nature. Not too much to really talk about this. Made of stainless steel in that brushed finish. If you have any questions on the RM1200 series, or in particular the RM1210, diameter here, flat end here, or any other Rockwood product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.